Howdy, how are you guys doing? This is my introduction kind of video of my YouTube channel, my second little introduction. My first one was just a personal one with me on camera and kind of explaining who I am. This one, I'm just going to have a nice, enjoyable day out on a nice ride. I mean, today is one of the most beautiful days that we've had, I'd say, in about, a week. And I just wanted to take advantage of it, and I got my motorcycle all cleaned up today and got it all washed, and I'm just really enjoying the weather, and I'm enjoying this beautiful day for riding, and I just kind of wanted to make a little YouTube video. And I'll just do a smaller introduction for those that might not have watched the first video. My name is Jackson. This is my BMW R1250 GSA, and me and my dad bought two identical ones. This is a triple black and his is a 40th anniversary edition, and we like to take motorcycle adventure trips. The last one we took, we got all the way up North Carolina on the Blue Ridge Parkway. We live in Alabama, so we live pretty far south, so that one was a pretty good ride for us. We were gonna go all the way up to Virginia, but because of the weather conditions and everything, it didn't really work out. But it was still a great ride, and we used the Lone Rider gear, as you can kind of see from my handlebar bag and my hangry bags. So we have the panniers, the tent, the Overlander, their duffel bag. We pretty much got everything that Lone Rider has, with the exception of, which they haven't come out with it yet, but I don't think we're going to get it, is their new top box. We've got everything but the top box, and the only reason is because we've already got enough luggage. The last thing we need to do is pile on more luggage. But we're going to be taking a ride here shortly to go to Arkansas, and I kind of wanted to just introduce myself on YouTube before I started posting those videos, just to kind of give anybody that's watching a little bit of a background of who I am and what I'll be posting. I like to do most of my rides are local, I guess you could say, back roads, and just enjoying nice beautiful days. I'll sometimes be gone for 5-6 hours, but I won't ride more than 200 or 300 miles because I just enjoy it. I like to set my cruise control on whatever the speed limit is and just enjoy my day. I just wanted to kind of take you guys along with me. But for the most part, this YouTube channel is just going to be documenting motorcycle adventure rides and maybe just smaller rides around our local area. I'm not sure how good I'll be on the commentary because I'm not a professional commentary person, but I do enjoy riding motorcycles, and that's pretty much all that matters for a channel that's about motorcycles, because anything else is just a bonus. I'm not really sure what I'll be posting on a regular basis, but mostly ride back roads. I don't ride much highway. I say that as I'm going to get on the highway, but that's only going to be just long enough so I can get on a back road. I started out on a little dirt bike, and I stopped for a little while because I just didn't have I was young, and obviously I just kind of skipped a few years till I was about 14 years old. And then I really started riding dirt bikes and everything like that, and that's what really got me into motorcycling when I got my first dirt bike. And then I took a couple more years and I didn't really ride that much, and then I got into street motorcycles, and like most people do, especially young kids, my first bike was a crotch rocket, or a CBR. The more accurate would be a CBR 600. It was an F3. It was a 1996, so it was kind of a classic. Me and my dad was able to restore it, and I might even put some pictures on the video for you guys to see, because it was, we restored it from bottom up, and we just did the whole overhaul and got brand new fairings, and the thing looked brand new for 1996. We pretty much replaced everything on that motorcycle other than the headlight, because surprisingly the headlight was the only thing that really worked. As far as electrical, mechanically there was nothing wrong with the motorcycle. It just needed a lot of work as far as new spark plugs, new fairings, which the fairings isn't that complicated, but it just needed a lot of work. We had to the forks needed to be rebuilt, needed new wheel bearings, needed new everything. It was a complete overhaul. And the tragic end of that story was someone hit me head on. A Ford F-150, one of those Raptors, hit me head on, totaled out my motorcycle. I came out just fine. I didn't even have a scratch on me, so that was a blessing. And got a Ducati 848 Evo. It was a 2011, and it was one of those bikes that if I didn't have to sell it, I wouldn't have sold it. Only reason I did is because I wanted this bike, and as you guys know about BMWs, they're not exactly on the cheap market. They're expensive, and then the bags alone, that cost the same amount of money as that Ducati did. And I won't give any exact figures, but it was a lot. The Lone Rider bags, if you get the whole package with everything, and it wasn't just for my bike, it was for 2 bikes because I was buying my dad's also. It pretty much wiped completely out. I mean, it was a complete trade. The Ducati for the Lone Rider bags. So, wanted up getting rid of that one, and then we bought these. And I do not have any regrets. This bike has been nothing but a true pleasure and a true joy to ride. I mean, it really is. There's nothing more than I could ask out of a motorcycle. I mean, this thing does it all. It's like a sport bike. It's like a cruiser. It's like a dirt bike in a way. It's everything combined. And like I said, there's nothing more that I could want this bike to do. It's an all-around great motorcycle, and most of you guys that own one of these, and most of you that watch these owners that ride these on their videos, know that these are some pretty indestructible bikes. They'll do just about anything, and if you want it to push it to its limits, it'll go off-road. It'll do everything you want it to do. The only thing is, the only reason you're not going to see that much on this channel is mainly because I spent a lot of my hard-earned dollars on this motorcycle, and it's not that I'm not experienced, and it's not that I don't want to. It's simply boils down to the fact that I do not want to tear up a nice brand new motorcycle just to go off-road. I'd like to enjoy my motorcycle, and I don't want to. I find it hard for people to enjoy their motorcycle when most of the time they're dropping it. I could baja this thing out, and I could go crazy off-road, and I could do all the things that all them other guys do. The only problem is, it's not one of those bikes you can just go replace or just do a massive overhaul on. You can't just replace parts like you can on a Honda. This is just not a bike that I want to destroy. But anyway, enough rambling on about that. My channel is just going to be mostly it's going to be on pavement. It's not going to be off-road. I'll also say I'm not ashamed of my faith at all in Jesus Christ. I'm a Christian. I would encourage you to stick around and watch, because you need Jesus. We all need Jesus. I still need more of Jesus. But I'm just saying, I'd encourage you to stick around and watch. This is going to be mostly a Christian motorcycle channel. You're not going to see, any cursing. We're going to have a good time. We're going to enjoy our time. We're going to have a nice ride. We're going to enjoy the weather, enjoy the day, enjoy the road, enjoy the motorcycle, and enjoy the things that God gives us. And Jesus gives us all of this. I mean, nice creeks, everything that you're seeing, God gave us, and I want to enjoy the things that God gives us. And I believe that just in anything in life, you should dedicate it to Jesus Christ. And I dedicate this motorcycle to Jesus Christ. If I ride it in a way that would be acceptable for Jesus. I'm not going to go out here and go 100 miles an hour and put my life and other lives in danger because I want to get a video on YouTube. It's not having good virtue, good integrity, and I want to be responsible, and I don't want to take advantage of anybody, and I want to take advantage of my motorcycle to get views on YouTube. So with all that said, I think I'm just going to kick back and relax and enjoy this nice, beautiful ride. I'll also be getting a new navigation system. I'll be getting the BMW Navigator 6. I know there's been a pretty good amount of reviews saying that it's not the best navigation system. It's kind of outdated, and the Zumo XT2 is a lot newer. However, the Zumo XT2 is, I think, around $600, and then the mount to mount this to the BMW, the stock BMW GSA mount that we've got right here, is about $70. It's a 3D printed mount, and it basically doesn't require anything other than just replacing the locking mechanism on this. You take that out and you put in their locking mechanism, and you don't have to do any wiring. You just plug in the mount. They make a mount that goes into this computer, so it uses the stock wiring. However, like I said, the only reason I didn't buy it, the Garmin Zumo XT is about $600, and the mount, like I said, is about $70. I was able to get the the BMW Navigation 6 for about $500 or $400. So I was able to get about $150 less than the Zumo XT, and with no having to do anything, I can just pop it right in there. And I've heard people that have been disappointed, but my dad's got one and it works pretty good. It is a little outdated, obviously. The maps are still up to date. You can still update everything that way. It's just the look of it, the design, it is kind of an old-fashioned look, but I really have, that does not bother me a bit. It's just a navigation system, and I don't want to have to use my phone all the time. My phone, it works, but it's not something I want to use dedicated for GPS. I did do that on our last trip, and it worked beautifully. I used it with the BMW navigation system that the GSAs come with, the BMW Connected app. I used that, and it worked pretty good. I mean, it had all the routes and everything, and it was a good navigation system. It just, I don't like using my cell phone. I like to have everything a dedicated for one purpose. I'm not saying you can't use your phone, but I'm just saying I'd rather have a dedicated navigation system. Plus, it's right up there on the screen. It's right there. It's mounted. They do make mounts for the phone, and I had one that mounted up to the BMW, and you plugged in your phone and it would charge it and everything like that. And I had that, and it was great, except that there's just one thing. It broke in, like, you know, 3 months, 4 or 5 months later, it broke, and it happened to be that both of my dad's and mine broke at the same exact time. So they're just not very reliable, those mounts. I want something that's dedicated, like the GPS. So I went with the BMW Navigation 6, and we're going to see how that does. For local riding, like what I do most of the time, I don't really need it. It's not a necessity. I know where I'm going, and I've been on these roads before, and I just like riding just for the pure enjoyment of riding. But when I'm going somewhere that I'm not familiar with and I've never been to, I like to feel secured in the fact that I've got a navigation system. We will be camping on that Arkansas trip, just to give you guys a little bit of a spoiler. We're going to try to camp most of the days. Can't make any promises. I know there's probably going to be a few days, probably in the middle of the week, that we'll stop and use a hotel to take a shower and kind of just get rested up in a bed and then get back on the road. But it's going to be about a 4-day, maybe a 5-day excursion, little trip up to Arkansas. It's going to be a whole day just to get up to Arkansas, and then 2 days to ride the whole hog route and then to come back. So we're going to have about 4 days total. And of course, we want to spend some time too looking around and kind of seeing what we would, you know, might get into up there. You know, maybe go to a nice restaurant or a little souvenir shop. So we're allowing time for that. It's going to be about a 4-day trip. We're going to try to leave here on Tuesday. The way that I work at my job, I won't be getting off till Monday morning, so I'll have to sleep, and we may leave out Monday. We don't know. I'll see how I feel, and I'll see how rested up I am. If I'm too tired to leave, then I probably won't go anywhere, because I don't want to risk riding my motorcycle and being exhausted and not having enough rest. It's not being responsible, and it's not being safe. So we're trying to leave out by Tuesday morning, and we'll try to come back by Saturday. I don't have all the time in the world just to go on trips. I am, you know, obviously a working man, and I work hard for my money, and I also like to enjoy my time off. And so, and obviously, since I'm a motorcyclist, it doesn't take much to entertain me. It's just a nice road and some nice beautiful days, and I'm pretty much good to go. I am looking forward to the Ozark trip though. We have a bunch of other camping gear, you know, cot, sleeping bag, cooking stove, and cooking equipment, and your basic camping equipment and gear. And we load these bikes down when we go on a trip. It's nice to have a nice little excursion, little camping trip and whatnot. So this year our schedule has pretty much cleaned up itself. I mean, we don't have much going on. Last year we had a lot going on, and I kind of mentioned that in my introduction. It was nothing bad. All kinds of things went on last year. So this year is a lot more calm. We don't have as much going on. I won't commentate the entire ride because I like to enjoy my rides, and I like to soak in all the beauty of God's beautiful creation, because we will be recording the entire ride of the whole hog route. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.